Hello, hello, and welcome back as I try and answer the age-old question of why is it better to eat cake in proximity to a large body of salt water in XCOM, War of the Chosen. It's been 3 years, DNCE, and I still don't get it. I don't get it. I've been hearing your song since like 2015, and I don't understand what it is about the ocean that somehow enhances the flavor of cake. I just don't get it. First off, DNCE, like Operation Manic Shriek here, cake sucks. Cake is in all ways, and I've said this many a time, and it's an opinion that I stand by and will defend unto the death. Cake is, however, in all ways inferior to pie. If we're talking desserts, pie is just better. So if anything, DNCE, you should be eating pie by the ocean. If cake by the ocean is good, or better than regular cake, then pie by the ocean should also be good and better than regular pie, which is saying something because pie may be one of the greatest things ever invented. Cake is just a big wad of like textureless, sugary flour with no depth or complexity of flavor whatsoever. It's just bland and shitty, which maybe, now that I think about it, is why it's better to eat cake by the ocean. Cake is so bland ordinarily that something about the salt air gives a little depth to its otherwise shallow flavor profile. But if that's true, though, we got to think of like there's got to be like a property that applies to all food. That has to be something else. If cake is better when enhanced by the salt flavor of the ocean, then transitively, that same thing applies to all varieties of food. If cake is better by the ocean, then pie should also be better when eaten by the ocean. I don't understand, DNCE, what you're talking about here. Why do I gotta eat cake by the ocean? I just don't get it. I don't get it at all. I'm trying to understand. I want to understand, but I'm never gonna actually understand though. Gert Rafto's still tired. You know what? Top secret. Who's your Ray Livois, who I think is on a. Yeah, he's on a covert op, so you're fine. He's going to be out for 6 days. We can bring you in on this one. I don't get your cake by the ocean thing, though. I'm never going to understand it. And somebody right now is like, hey, Pete, did you ever consider the fact that maybe that song isn't about eating confections next to a large body of salt water? Maybe cake is a euphemism for something sexual, like, you know, say, the vagina, and then that song is actually just an allegory for one person's desire to engage in oral sex. Maybe you're onto something, maybe, but still, if that's the case, why is it still not pie? I mean, a slice of pie is just as good of a euphemism for the vagina as cake. Pie is wedge-shaped. Vagina is typically sort of wedge-shaped. Ever heard of the term hair pie? Even then, even if that's what you're going for, something sexual, pie is still superior to cake, DNCE. Pie is still superior. Should still be pie, damn it. Eat pie by the ocean. Gallagher, let's give you a Mimic Beacon. We got Doc Holliday, we got the Real Genius rocking some blue screen rounds. I'm okay with that. Patterson, let's give you... I don't know, do we have any kind of enhanced bullets? Maybe Dragonfire rounds, I guess, are fine. Virgil No Eyes Adamson, you're going to be taking a battle scanner into battle for us. And Nick Top Secret Rivers, let's give you... I was saying we could give you something secretive and something, but... could be crystals or something on this mission. Let's just play it safe and take one med kit. I'd rather not need a med kit and have one than need one and not have it. Or I'd rather have one and not need it than need one and not have it. Much like I'd rather eat pie by the ocean than cake by, well, anywhere. I'd rather eat pie, garden variety, non-oceanified pie any day of the week than even cake by the ocean. Cake sucks. I say that. That's not technically, I guess, accurate. I mean, cake still is sugary and sort of okay, even though mostly it's just, you might as well just grab a spoon and eat a bowl of raw sugar, because it's just vanilla and sugar. Cake is all about the icing anyway. It's got such little depth to cake. It's spongy and it's nothing there. It's got no complexity. Pie is so much better. Cake isn't bad, though. It's just, it's not pie. That's the problem with cake, is that it's just not something better than cake. It's a dessert, yep, but almost every other dessert has got something better going on it than cake. And sure, even if you're eating cake, yeah, I mean, you're still having dessert, I guess, but You're having the worst dessert possible. It's like saying eating a McDonald's cheeseburger. You're like, well, you know what? Even in the worst case scenario, even if it is a McDonald's cheeseburger, which widely regarded is not great in the cheeseburger department, you're still eating a cheeseburger. I know, but it's just the wasted potential. It haunts me. I have a problem with things that don't achieve their full potential, and like the McDonald's burger, I feel like cake is a consistent underperformer in the achieving its total potential department. And that those same ingredients could almost universally be used to just make a pie. Cake is just pie that just pie that was too lazy to try. Like, yeah, you know, I could have been a pie, but it was a lot of work, so I just figured to hell with it. I hate these civilians with every single fiber of my being. What's going on here, though? Why can you not... I was going to say, why can you no longer move? I really despise those civilians, though, because they have completely boned us. Well, Virgil Adamson, I guess we're going to need... I hadn't anticipated needing his battle scanners, but now I'm glad I... No, don't hunker down, though. Now I'm glad I brought them. Let's whip one out here. Any enemies over in that vicinity? Give me the scan. Lovely about the fact that we moved about 6.5 feet before stepping onto a fucking civilian, by the way. That's straight up horse shit. This should be relatively safe, then. Apparently we've stepped on another civilian, or we've kicked that same civilian further down the road like a game of kick the can. I'm supremely salty. Yeah, you can cover it, alright. You know, why didn't you cover us from that fucking civilian, though? Should have covered that. Been much happier if you'd have covered that. You could have at least killed him after he screwed us, though. That's the other thing. Why leave him? The damage is already done now. You might as well just shoot the traitorous bastard. Traitorous? Pete, are you Southern, or was that a performance error? It was definitely a performance error. Combination of traitor and treachery. That's a pod, though. Triple robots. That's pretty unfortunate. They have wandered into us. That's going to take a lot of heat on us. We only have 9 turns to deal with this data transfer. Alright, so we should have one person on our team who has Shadow Step. I have one guy who has Shadow Step, do I not? I actually don't. Well then, we're going to need to get that guy off Overwatch. Robbie Gallagher, that seems like a you job. You can't see him, though. This is the problem with the full melee team. Okay, you know what? Doc Holliday can see. All right, Doc. It's a very long shot. This is going to be a challenge for you. Nice work. Well, we could take a follow-up shot. And I kind of feel like we're going to have to, actually, because we got to get rid of that Overwatch. Main problem here is now Doc Holliday is... Oh, Doc Holliday has the ability that lets him shoot and then shoot again? Good. Let's see what we can do and who will and who won't be parrying at the end of this turn. We want every one of these guys engaged with somebody. Patterson, we're going deep now. We're fully committed. The armor's going to stop a lot of our potential damage. There's no way Doc Holliday is going to be able to rend at the end of this turn. He just won't have enough go to. It looks like Virgil No Eyes Adamson also is not going to be able to rend. He doesn't have enough. Doesn't have enough in him either. Alright, Gallagher, we may have to deploy the Mimic Beacon then. We'll keep you on reserve for that. Doc Holliday. If we're going to deploy the Mimic Beacon, then I guess we may as well have you just keep shooting whatever your highest percentage shot is. I dislike being forced to dump the beacon quite this early, but what else are we going to do? We could rend into you and hit your friend. Let's do that. This is potentially a kill. Got one kill, a little bit of bonus damage on his buddy. Extra focus for the juice, which is nice. Go ahead and parry. Top secret, you gonna be able to do anything at all? Nope. Well, Gallagher, I guess we'll have you throw the Mimic Beacon, because there's really nothing else we can do. So everybody else just like make best possible speed, I guess, and then we'll chuck a Mimic Beacon out there, force the enemy to shoot at that. Gallagher, we'll move you to here. Toss the old beacon. This is why we build them, folks. Sometimes you kick a civilian in the face, and the only way to save yourselves from inevitable destruction is to throw a Mimic Beacon into the mix. Only 2 shooters here, so our Mimic Beacon will be able to stand up to all of the offense that's going to come our way. Great shot, robot. Put it in his mouth and still missed. More robots, though. This is a preponderance of robot. We got a lot of robot here. We're running out of Mimic Beacon, too. Patterson? If you move back, do you get overwatched? The answer is no. Alright, then. We can't go forward, because if we do, we're going to get overwatched. But what we can do instead is focus on killing these. Beg your pardon. So that was horse shit. But we got lucky in that the shot missed anyway. I'm still furious, though. 7 turns. We got to keep an eye on that turn counter. We did fail our last one of these little missions. I was not happy about that. Doc, you're the furthest away. Can you get up here? Yes. Maybe don't rend away the cover that we've got somebody currently occupying, just in case that somebody can't make it up to a robot to rend it and won't be parrying at the end of our turn. That's one of the things that's been the most difficult to adjust to in this playthrough, I have to admit, is the fact that I've had to become accustomed to not having everything be dead at the end of a turn. This is one playthrough where it doesn't necessarily matter if you get shot at. Ordinarily, you want to get not shot at, ever, under any circumstances, ever let that happen. If you spawn an enemy, it has to be dead at the end of a turn. That's just the way that kind of works. But in this playthrough, you know, not so much. Well, Gallagher, you're out of Mimic Beacon. You're out of useful thing to do, so we could put you behind this tree and have you hunkered down, but all that's going to do is get a grenade dropped on your face. Real genius can make it up to this guy? Yeah. I'm a little worried this might spawn another pod, but yeah, that's okay. We definitely did. We saw them on our way by. There they are. We got a Codex and what appears to be a Spectre as well. This is a lot of enemies. We're going to have some issues here. One of the Codexes is just going to psionic bomb for certain, which is fine. That won't cost us anything, but Chris Knight is in more than a little bit of a pickle here. Can anybody get to one of those Codexes? You can, Nick Rivers. You know what? Go ahead. I want to spread out. Give ourselves the maximum number of potential targets and disperse our damage as widely as we can. Even though that doesn't generate kills of any variety, we will still be parrying at the end of this turn. We gotta spread things out, though. We are making more Codexes who potentially get actions, though, and that's bad. Gallagher, you can't really get, like, you can't do anything. This is actually the turn where we really needed that Mimic Beacon. Give him the lightning hands. I was very hopeful that that shot might hit, so there was a non-zero chance we could take that robot out before we got to his turn, but it is not going to happen. Why does the thing keep locking up between actions? You know what? 55% chance, then see if you can kill the Codex, Gallagher. Fantastic work, bro. Going 0 for 2. That's just what we needed. Well, we're in more than a little trouble here. Especially when this guy gets shadowbound. Yeah, that's going to really suck a lot. One of our best now works for the enemy. The one nice thing I can't say about shadowbind is at least it doesn't make you injured. Like, being shadowbound doesn't leave you injured. You done, Spectre? The other thing I hate about Spectres is their turns take a really long time. You're gonna psionic bomb us because you can hit basically everyone with it. This is completely irrelevant. Our whole team has had their weapons disabled and we don't give a single shit. This guy's probably gonna come shoot at us. Or possibly also psionic bomb. Oh, get parried. That leaves me worried for what the other Codex is gonna do, because they're probably gonna shoot at us after we've used our parry. Yeah. Good old deflection doing nothing for us. Was hopeful maybe we could deflect that shot. We definitely did not. This does nothing. That's just gonna get full parried. We took a hit. Possibly 2 hits, though, because we have just now... Well, please shoot at someone else. Okay. Thank you. We do have a problem, though, in that now we've got a man on Overwatch, and, like, nobody to deal with him. Yeah, this is unfortunate. We have several people in a slop and a potential Overwatcher right in front of us. What are your chances to hit the man on Overwatch? You can't even see him, because of course you can. So we either have to take the psionic bond damage, or we have to take a potential Overwatch. This mission has been such a piece of shit. If we had hit that shot, I feel like we'd be okay now. But we didn't, and we're not. Like, we're never gonna be okay again. Well, get shot then, Doc Holliday. Sorry, you're gonna spend some time in the infirmary post-mission here. Or not. Got a little bit of bonus damage to our codex, which is going to cause it to clone. We should have left that codex on the roof alone and focused on a robot. Making the extra target is actually what got us shot. That was suboptimal play. So you're pairing. Just have everybody be pairing at the end of this turn. I know that Spectre is up there, but I'm actually not too worried about it. The only thing one of our units is going to do to us is come and make an attack, which is going to ultimately be parried. The Spectre can't really do anything except for that horror ability, I guess, that they used on us, which didn't seem like it was parryable. You, fuckbot, you going down. Virgil Noah's Adamson is not having any of your shit, bro. He's had an assful. I don't suppose there's any way we could arc wave. Well, it was worth a shot. Thought we might be able to double up and kill both of those codexes in a single round. Nothing doing, though. Top Secret's just going to be parrying on a rooftop. Not as good as eating cake by the ocean, I'm told. Wait, if eating cake by the ocean is better than eating cake somewhere else, is parrying on a rooftop better than parrying somewhere else? See, there's a whole paradigm that opens up with this cake by the ocean situation, which contributes to part of my confusion. Like, cake is better by the ocean. Does it apply to other foods? Are other foods thus intrinsically better when consumed near a large body of salt water? Are there other things that are better than wind by the ocean? What about something innocuous? Let's say, what if you like polka music? So let's say you're really into polka. Is polka better by the ocean? I gotta know. Cake is better by the ocean. Maybe polka is better by the ocean. What about things not music related? Okay, what if, let's say you're into the works of Dostoevsky. Is Dostoevsky better when read by the ocean? Maybe. We just don't know. The DNCE has introduced this entire paradigm, and they failed to answer the question for anything other than cake. That's my main problem about this is you've opened the door to so many new worlds, and then you've refused to actually share any of the requisite information with us, and it makes me a little salty. Man, our boy is just not having any of this guy's shit, huh? Shadow took 2 shots at him, reflected them both. Suck it. All right, where's that other codex? I could be able to get it. Rivers, you got this. Come work this chump shit. Take him down. So much for your automated defenses. Nick Rivers picking up his final point here. We also do need to go kill that thing that's conducting the actual data transfer. You know what? Don't parry yet. Let's hold off on that. We might have you move closer to the objective if we can kill everything else. Speaking of everything else, we don't have to kill that thing, because if we kill the Spectre, that thing goes away anyway. And it does not have Blade Storm, so... I'm usually most terrified when our enemies possess one of our units that has Blade Storm, because that presents some real problems for us. For instance, if that had been Batman instead of Nick Rivers who got possessed there, we'd be in deep shit, because Batman would have taken a Blade Storm shot at us on the way by. If we're not going to be able to kill this Spectre and the Codex, though, what we might want to do is go ahead... Never mind. I was going to say go ahead and kill that guy anyway, just because it'll get our shadow-bound compatriot up off the ground here. Turns out, didn't need it. Ghost. Finish off this Codex. Yeah, feel the power of the Templars. What about NASCAR? Is NASCAR better by the ocean? Does the salt air have a similar effect on really fast stock cars? Like, do they perform better by the ocean? Do they get a better compression ratio or something in the dense sea air? Or does the moisture that's being absorbed in the atmosphere around them, does that maybe make them perform worse? You gotta answer these questions for me, DNCE. You can't just fucking leave me hanging like this. Cake's better by the ocean. What else is better by the ocean? Your song creates more questions than it answers. That's my problem. Don't like unanswered questions. I don't like unanswered questions the way Garth Brooks doesn't like unanswered prayers. You can introduce a concept like what is or what is not better by the ocean, and then just go, well, cake's better. And that's it, full stop, end of conversation. You can't just leave it there. That can't be the end of it. There's got to be more. You got to elaborate. You can't introduce a complex concept like this and then just not follow up. Also, I'm not sure why blowing that up caused the floor to catch on fire. Or rather, it actually set what appeared to be a couch on fire, and then that couch set the floor on fire even after the couch exploded.
I will sense any disturbance.
Really? You'll sense any disturbance? That seems really like more of a Virgil No Eyes Adamson kind of thing. Like, Virgil should be the one saying he'll sense any kind of disturbance. You should say, I'll spot any kind of disturbance, because, you know, you have two functional eyes. What about eyesight? Is it better by the ocean? I keep falling back on this. I gotta have an answer. Somebody's got to tell me. I need a codified list of what is and is not better by the ocean. I want a complete accounting from DNCE about all of the things that are and are not better by the ocean. I demand it. You know what? Let's go ahead and use this med kit. Top secret, it's better to have that health inside your body. Let's go with the Paul Muad'Dib method here. The Fremen realized the best place to store that liquid is inside your own body, and I'm of the best place to store this health is also inside our own body kind of paradigm. So let's get it in us. Real genius, please don't set yourself on fire. Mostly what I care about is that you not engulf yourself in flame. Can we get an audio clue, maybe, to where the remaining enemies are? Here, Virgil, you know what? Come out here and maybe check a battle scanner. Maybe this will help us find. A lot of map available. Maybe, like, out here? I don't know. Give me those eyes, Virgil. See, it's funny, because he can spare his. He's not using them. He can... How about you? Okay, Virgil. Hey, there's another thing. What about your eyesight? Better by the ocean? Worse by the ocean? Is the refractive index of the atmosphere somehow better when near a body of water? I blame DNCE for not telling you. Okay, AI, like, you could at any point now help us out and tell us where this last enemy is, because I'm really tired of running around looking for it. We're getting close to the edge of the zone, and this has become less enthusiastic than obnoxious. Just cough up some enemies already.
Maintaining this area.
Yeah. Of course we're maintaining this area, because we have no idea where the fucking enemy is. We're also unlikely to find them. Virgil, we know they're not over here, because Virgil already chucked the battle scanner.
I'll maintain my watch.
We're running out of places for them to possibly be. Maybe we're waiting for a pod of reinforcements to show up? What have we not killed?
No one
I bet there's a turret somewhere. Okay, see, this is what we've been waiting for all along. A little bit, just a little help here. All we need is an audio clue. We don't need much to go on. Virgil Adamson. He'll find him. Guy's got sensitive... No, see, John Patterson keeps stealing all Virgil's lines. It's supposed to be Virgil who says, no, my senses are keen. I've got that whole when one sense fails, the other ones, become stronger to make up for the lack. The deficit is countered. It's nature's way of helping you overcome adversity. And John Ghost Patterson's like, nah, it's my senses that are keen. Virgil's a slouch. Still nothing, huh? So they must be over here in this little cul-de-sac. There they are. Oh, good! It's the sectopod. Well, that's gonna be a real problem. So we're gonna need you to shoot this thing, and then probably shoot it again. And then possibly rend it. Sectopods are gonna be a real problem for us. Also, we're gonna have a very difficult time killing both a sectopod and 3 robots in the same turn. Alright, Patterson, who's your bonus action for? Your bonus action is for Virgil No Eyes Adamson. No Eyes. Which one of you? Somebody has blue screen rounds. I believe it's Real Genius. Real Genius, your bonus action is for Doc Holliday, right? So we could have the Doc shoot at it. Wow, this is actually a pretty shit scenario for us. There's almost no way we come out of this one uninjured. Basically none. Yeah, your hit percentage is just too bad. Give the bonus action to the Doc. We're gonna need some people to charge and try and draw some fire, I think. We don't want to be near this when it goes up, and it is going to go up, and it's going to go up huge. We want no one else near this sectoid. This is something I've been worried about for a good long while. We need some people who have the fortress ability, and we don't have any. We need fortress, don't have it. Need fortress, don't have the fortress. We just gotta try to get as many people as we can parrying so that they can take the hits from the sectopod. The sectopods get so many actions and their hits do so much damage. I don't suppose you can make it down to that. I'll say, if anybody can make it down to that lower level robot, we'd really like them to do so, but... We also gotta try and minimize the amount of damage that's potentially incoming as well. Top secret, can you make it to the... You can make it to the rear robot, huh? You can. Not in a direction that allows us to arc wave a shot into the sectopod, but the sectopod is standing next to a blade stormer. It's just the guy who's gonna blade storm him and possibly kill him can't handle the explosion damage. Like, the explosion damage is going to hurt him. We got a parry. See, we could send Robbie Gallagher in to hit him, but then we're just having 2 people hurt instead of 1. I don't want to do that. We could almost guarantee that only 1 person winds up injured, though. Take the lightning hand shot. And then we could have you hit him with the Mars Volta. Oh, you can't hit him with the Mars Volta, huh? You know what? Overwatch. Let's see what the sectopod does. He's going full leg mode. Okay, that's actually... Ignores parry? Oh, we're in deep shit here. We're in deep shit, though. That ability ignores parry. We should parry that one. So that guy legged up like, oh, this is real bad. We have 2 people that are, and the Wrath Cannon is coming out. Okay, so we need everybody to get away from the sectopod because it gives way too many actions and you guys are already hurt. So please run away. And then just in the event that you maybe are a little too close here, also please run away. And then somebody just shoot this motherfucker. So we learned a valuable lesson then in that lightning field cannot be parried. Man, sectopods are gonna be a real trial. Doc Holliday gunned him down. He explodes. Mission complete, but we got 2 wounded, and John Holliday got 2 ability points from taking a height advantage shot. I don't know if he had the height advantage on that guy, because he was already up and elevated. He went full tripod mode.
And despite the destruction left in their wake,
Sectopods are going to be a real issue for us. They have abilities that can hurt us despite our parry. Can't parry a lightning field. This is important. We can parry a grenade, but we can't parry lightning field? That's real weird. Why not? It's also real troublesome because, again, we gotta have somebody who has Fortress that can go toe-to-toe, mono-y-mono with the sectopod. We need somebody to be able to go in there and deliver that killing blow. Gravely Wounded puts the doc out for 4 days. Nick Top Secret Rivers is going to be out for 9 days. They were both going to be down for some amount of time anyway because of their tiredness, but still, I hate seeing troopers get wounded. We can conduct a sectopod breakdown. Picked up Monique Girard, Engineer. We countered a dark event, which, sure, Nick Rivers is afraid of psionics because that makes perfect fucking sense. I really wish the fears were a little more, like the negative traits really need to be a little more sensical, if you understand my meaning. For instance, Nick Rivers was injured by a sectopod, so shouldn't his fear be something like robotobophobia, where he's afraid of robots? Sectoidophobia? Podophobia? A fear of sectopods? He should have something like that. He shouldn't have, no, for whatever reason, I'm afraid of psionically powered enemies, even though it wasn't a psionically empowered enemy or ability that injured me in the first place. I just decided to be afraid. I actually don't want those alloys at all. What was I doing prior to this? I mean, there's a little shame. 6 days in South America for supplies. Black market, don't need to go to. We were making contact in New Chile. That's what we were doing. Right. Let's go back to doing that, because I really don't care about those alloys even a tiny bit. The fear thing, though. It's like when you go to a circus and you find a really scary clown and he skins your whole family and eats your brother or sister alive in front of your eyes. And then at the end of that gruesome experience, rather than having a fear of clowns, you're afraid of, like, yarn. I have a crippling fear of yarn, actually, because of what the clown did to my family. You're like, that doesn't make any fucking sense. He's like, well, that's just the way it worked out. Sorry. I guess phobias aren't rational, Pete. They were rational fears that, you know, I guess makes sense.
Quite efficient. Greetings, Commander.
Well, what else can we waste some time on here? Because our shadow chamber still isn't done. You know what? Let's do the sectopod right here.
Our troops took to calling this large robotic unit a sectopod, under the initial assumption that it was being controlled by a sectoid pilot.
You know, on looking at it, I'm not sure it's big enough to house a sectoid inside of it.
Not unlike the
I'm getting more of a little tiny guy inside the human-sized robot thing from Men in Black. Like the jewelry store owner guy. The sectoid would have to be really tiny. Do you ever wonder if maybe you're just a little tiny person inside of a bigger person who's driving your body? You ever feel like that? Like the Norman Reedus fetus thing where he's got like a baby in his throat? Do you ever wonder if maybe that's not really happening? Finally, the Wild Hunt has, after being threatened for like 3 months in a row, the Wild Hunt has finally actually triggered. Thank you, I really need those ability points. I appreciate you cooperating. I've been letting this one go forever in the hopes that you chosen would get off your lazy asses and start doing your damn jobs. I want more opportunities to kill you. Although with one of those chosen being the Warlock, and the Warlock being immune to melee damage, it's actually a bit of a problem. We are operating more recently, though, down in Chosen Assassin territory. We've also got an opportunity to head over to South America. Inside knowledge, effect of all weapon modifications has been increased. We actually can't use weapon modifications, though, so that does us literally 0 good. Rivers, you out of the hospital yet? Nope. How long you got? You had a minute, though, I believe. Like, you had a little while. Who is currently unavailable for combat? It's just the janitor who's tired for 3 days. Top secret's going to be wounded for 3 more days. Covert action ends in 1 day. Let's get that done. Once top secret is back in action, go ahead and build. Do we need to build a radio beacon down here? We already had the South American continent post. We actually just need to make contact. We need more resistance comms, I guess. We can upgrade resistance comms, that's fine. Let's purchase this. No, we can't, because we don't have enough supplies. Maybe we should go scan for some of those supplies we've been ignoring for the last forever then, Pete. It seems like you actually have some use for those, and also you're going to need to build a shadow chamber relatively shortly. Those, you know, those ain't cheap. 250 supplies there. So we have the opportunity now to locate the Warlock stronghold. I feel like maybe we should just start that one right away.
Another crucial piece of information about the Chosen.
Yeah, but are Chosen better by the ocean, Bradford? That's what I want to know. Is it better to fight Chosen by the ocean? I gotta know, John. Experimental grenade and heavy weapon projects instantly completed in proving grounds. If only that were somehow useful.
Our influence with the resistance factions has motivated them to share some new information on the Chosen.
Well, we're probably going to get ambushed on this one because we don't have a skirmisher available to negate the potential for ambush. So let's just send, like, a really good team. What if we just send the Iceman and Jim Morrison? One, because it gives the Lizard King a little bit more health. Maybe it'll be enough to fight off his LSD-inspired psychoses. We're sending a Colonel and a Major. Both of these guys, I believe, are also Bladestormers, so even if we are ambushed here, we should have no real difficulty. Unless we're ambushed by the Chosen themselves, who is immune to melee damage. That is potentially a problem. Then again, if that does happen, we can always just run away, too. Sometimes discretion is the better part of valor. You know, like when the cops are after you got naked in a concert and were abusive to your fans in Miami, right, Jim?
Will likely prove crucial to our ongoing efforts.
I'm betting they don't prove crucial in any way, shape, or form. We have no use for a Mark III Gremlin.
Despite a lot of speculation, there was no pilot to be found once we...
Although similar
yeah,
in
just
appearance
chop
to
up
the
a Lost
psionic
Corpse.
zombies we have encountered previously in our engagements with the aliens, all current indications are that these lost are the product of something else entirely.
You know, you mentioned this on numerous occasions, Dr. Tigan, but you say something else entirely, but then you never elaborate on what that other thing is. Chemical agents. Well, specifically what chemicals? I mean, balsamic vinegar is technically a chemical agent. If I eat too much balsamic vinegar on a salad, do I run the risk of being turned into one of the lost? It would be nice if you would elaborate slightly, is all I'm saying. Council mission Operation Winter Child. We've got to go neutralize a target. I'm more of a summer child myself. I'm told that mothers would strangle their own babies in winter just so they didn't have to live through the long dark, because that's how grim Westeros is. I'm a summer child. Have to be a summer child again, probably in a different episode, though, because I'm going to wrap this one up. If you enjoyed it, feel free to drop a like down in the comments section. Of course, your support really does mean a lot. If you'd like to see more of my summer fairness and my inability to handle the obstacles of winter, might consider subscribing as well.
I just wasn't entirely sure what the big deal was. But after putting down one of the elders chosen permanently, you've shown that you're in this.
I'm doing a thing here, Volk. Do you mind? I got the end card slated. You good? Good. You want to see more? Consider subscribing as well. New episodes of XCOM every single day. If you'd like to see more of Volk's pedantic and pointless droning, and as well as my pedantless and pointless droning, you know what to do. Right now, thanks very much for watching. I'll see you again soon.